Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carl at @InCarlsRating. You can follow me on Instagram for more fashion content. Today I'll be talking about Ann Demeulemeester. So let's start the video. Ann Demeulemeester announced a new creative director on the 1st of December. To add excitement to this enduringly chaotic season, the news shocked everyone. For the loyal fans, it was a soup of disappointment. But for the others, it was a great change to shake things up. So many questions was running through our minds. Will he deliver? Is it the end of Ann Demeulemeester? In fashion, it's a huge deal when a new creative director steps in.
I wish to be able to keep doing that for the rest of my life, really. Let's see.
New blood means new buzz. It was hell of a buzz. And when the news came out, there were shattered hearts. Some hated it, some were optimistic, some were just deflated. I did this video to help us remember Ann Demeulemeester's contribution to fashion and how the brand's journey has arrived to a point where a young designer is now at the forefront of the house.
They sort of play it safe the first collection, and then kind of really get into it the next collection.
I'd love to know the discussions that put these people in place. You know, who's deciding to have Ludovic? You know, is it just the business people? Is it just saying, okay, how do we make as much money as possible? Or is there a more artistic kind of decision?
I don't think so.
And just recently, unfortunately, he exited the brand in less than 6 months. A lot of speculations are saying that Ludovic was fired because it didn't translate well with sales, but I think it's too early to say that. But who knows, right? Physically, he's someone that people, including me, will want to watch. I mean, he's a fashion darling. Perhaps his heightened reactions stem from fear and frustrations. Once an outsider steps in, it is normal that this strong community feels threatened. It also happened when Sébastien Mounier stepped in 2013. For the first 4 years, he was getting like bad reviews. So just for fun, I'm gonna be reading some interesting comments. Knew it was going to be bad. The expectations were low, but Ludovic went even lower. Now we will be seeing muscular guys in black thongs. One said, "What is happening to Ann Demeulemeester? He seems like an amazing designer, but completely at odds with the DNA of the label. We miss you, Ann. Please don't compromise the Ann DNA.
Looking at you, Antonioli.
The brand will disappear from the fashion world due to the amateurism and superficiality of the designer."
Sad day.
Also, as humans, we have this malady of assuming the worst. Just by Googling fashion scandals, and you'll probably see loads and loads of news regarding the amount of change and musical chairs and the circus of creative directors. According to Lorenzo Salomon of NSS magazine, when designers approach a historic and niche brand, it's a huge task. There's always a colossal struggle to reinterpret with an eye to the archive, but also with a perspective characterized by a very explicit self-referentiality. New appointments are intended to rekindle the fire of illustrious brands that have gone cold over the years or even gone into kind of hibernation. So that's the case for Ann Demeulemeester because the balance must be finely tuned and equal. Focusing too much on one thing or the other is potentially very dangerous. We've witnessed disasters like that happen in the past. I think to be a good fit in that role, you need to have an innate passion for the beating heart of the brand. Claudio Antonioli was hoping that a young fashion designer slash influencer slash muse would create a fresh perspective. They wanted this formula that Mugler had executed. Mugler is a thriving brand. It faced its peak and drops during the years, and it kind of struggled in terms of relevance. So to give you the scenario of what happened in the brand and to also grasp the timeline fully, let's dissect the 3 major personas of the brand. Ann Demeulemeester was involved in her brand from 1992 to 2013. So that was like 21 years of involvement. Similar to Rick Owens, she decided to pursue fashion instead of art, and she became one of the famous Antwerp Six in 1985. 1994, she approached a businesswoman named Anne Chappelle to create a more stable business model, perhaps. In short, she needed, a backup. She has helped build Ann Demeulemeester to have a flagship store. In 2005, the company was fully bought by Anne Chappelle. 8 years later, so that was in 2013, that was when Ann Demeulemeester ejected from her brand. The fashion world, despite its reputation to be freeing and liberating and entertaining, empowering even, can be as brutal and draining sometimes, When Ann Demeulemeester left her fashion brand in 2013, she declared, "It's the first time I feel like I don't have a rope around my neck." And of course, following her departure, Anne chose the designer Sébastien Mounier as her successor and artistic director of the brand. Sébastien had previously worked 10 years with the Belgian fashion house Martin Margiela before joining Ann Demeulemeester in 2010. He was officially designing the house men's collections while in reality being trained by Anne to be the future artistic director. So that was a different approach. When Sébastien came to the fore of the brand, he was slowly working his way in. He pairs the poetic codes of the house with his tendency to push things harder. There were lots of overdrawn mood board, overdrawn colors, over theatricality, which I personally love. You know what? He made me feel something. He made me want to dress like a ghost pirate wearing layers in a bright sunny day. Who is Ludovic? So Ludovic interned at Dior and Saint Laurent before joining Balmain, where he stayed for 2 years as an embellishment expert. So in 2017, he found his label, and after just 2 seasons, the label was nominated for the 2018 edition of the LVMH prize, and the designer established himself as someone to watch with a growing celebrity fan base. From hindsight, we can tell that Ludovic garnered all his achievements in a very quick span of time. De Saint Sernin uses clothing to explore facets of sexuality, sensuality, and sexiness, and he relies on a careful game of, the Tom Ford, Gucci era sexiness. Would be interesting to see that sensuality play at Ann Demeulemeester. However, he just exited the brand, so ignore that I said that. Now, having mentioned this series of achievements, him working in the jewelry department, in the shoe departments, I was looking forward a collection with a strong accessory story. It's been a while since we have seen a groundbreaking accessory from Ann Demeulemeester. The last being the fall 2009, where we've seen this wild belt corsets, and it was never replicated. I'm really sure he'd be able to reinterpret that at Ann Demeulemeester, but it didn't happen. So let's go to the collection. Let's do a quick review. So according to Ludovic, the collection is his first chapter for Ann Demeulemeester, probably his first and last. The collection itself comprised of 36 looks that explore the archives of Ann Demeulemeester. All of it rolled together in this polymorphous package of archive, borrowed, and self-reference. If I don't know Ann Demeulemeester, or if I don't know Ludovic, and I see the collection, yes, that is a strong, coherent collection. According to him, his first instinct was to go through the book. He particularly liked the 1997 and 2000 moment. Probably he feels that the aesthetic resonated to him. Opening and closing the show were asymmetrically draped silk maxi skirts, paired with a single horizontal feather leather across the chest. It's a symbolic image, an emblem of Ann Demeulemeester, and there's something Dadaist about it. It is a feather, but it's not a feather. There were definitely looks that gave homage and tribute to the archives. For example, from the spring-summer 1995 comes the reference of hands covering the breast. There is this leather halter dress for look number 13, which harkens back to the 1995 collection. It makes perfect sense, right, that Ludovic chose this piece to be included in his debut, because he's also done pieces from the same vein. Like for his fall 2022 collection, specifically look number 32, there is definitely a heavy similarity. It made me more convinced that maybe there is a reason why Claudio Antonioli chose Ludovic de Saint Sernin for Ann Demeulemeester. The collection also reflects a heightened attention to clean lines and genderless silhouettes. Bias cut silk skirts slither down the floor.
I felt so tired of seeing all these women in body close to the body clothes. I really wanted to find a new silhouette again.
Yeah, I was just hoping for a cerebral and conceptual approach when it comes to dressing women and men alike. Ann Demeulemeester's gender fluid stance go way back in the 90s. It's all about the attitude and it's all about the inner psyche. Despite being categorized as a fall-winter collection, sheer and velvet bodysuits seem to be the weapon of choice. I was imagining heavy coats, military jackets and whatnot, but what we got was like barely their pieces. And the duality and dichotomy of Ludovic and Anne was apparent in this see-through looks. Ludovic's sheer aesthetic is built upon his signature wet look, whereas Ann Demeulemeester is more about the dark, poetic, mysterious silhouette. In this collection, there were also a huge number of monochromatic leather ensemble. Like this kimono blazer slash robe was another perfect fusion of Ann Demeulemeester and Ludovic. In the past, Ludovic did a robe number, of course in a different fabric, more spring summery. And to break the clean, skin-tight pieces, one hero piece was the shearling shrugs. This look has proven how dutifully archive obedient Ludovic was. I don't know, it felt like a homework that was taken from Wikipedia. Styling was less than none. It was just the model wearing the clothes. I got goosebumps from the nostalgia, yes. It felt like the old pictures from the archive books were brought to life, and that was it. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a good starting point for Ludovic to stay on the safe playing zone. It was prudent and clean. Sadly, I think Ludovic at this stage at no point managed to create that magic. I think the magic was missing. The main question is, will I buy something from that collection? Probably no. It's a simple tribute to Ann Demeulemeester, yes, but I think it may not be enough to get, you know, the whole crowd talking. It's just so sad that the brand that you love is facing a lot of crisis at the moment. Like, can't we just give Ann Demeulemeester the designer that it deserves? So before I end this review, let me ask, what does Ann Demeulemeester mean to you? What will it become? With that, I am concluding this video, and moving on, we'll be doing the pickups video. So for this part of the video, I'll be talking about my recent pickups, and I'll be showing you our latest Ann Demeulemeester collection. You know how much I love the brand. For this pickups, I'll be showing you some accessories. The chunk of it will be mostly garments and clothing. Some of them are really iconic, some of them are archive pieces. So let's begin. We love big bags, commuter bags, tote bags, crossbody, anything that is functional. Even if it's a big bag, it feels like it just becomes an extension of your body because it's flat. And also it seems heavy duty because of the presence of hardwares, thick straps. Loren bought this one secondhand. Him being anal, he was so annoyed that the white bag has some imperfections like marks and stains. Loren did his personal touch of painting the surface with black leather paint, employing soft feather-like strokes. And it kind of worked because Ann Demeulemeester has this very imperfect imagery, banal chic kind of approach. Bags can be a great addition to the Ann Demeulemeester universe. This is a minimal bag that when worn with any Ann Demeulemeester outfit will sort of give the whole look a sense of finality and completion. And as you can see, the bag just behaves in a very minimal way. It doesn't compete with the body. It just becomes an extension of the outfit per se. The soft feather-like paint-roly strokes certainly gives a great touch. So speaking of accessories, these are the crossbody that we have. I'm gonna talk about this one first. This is from Ann Demeulemeester, you guys. So this one is just a DIY of Loren. This used to be a pouch that comes with an accessory, so you can wear it as a crossbody. And I love that it has logo. So another crossbody that we have is, this is the real crossbody, and it has this Ann Demeulemeester branding tag. We got this from Grail, made from canvas. I think the fans of Ann Demeulemeester would love it if this will be included as a freebie, right? How Rick Owens give a free tote bag. Do you agree? So this is simplistic crossbody bag. It just becomes an extension of your clothing if you wear it as so, which is super, super beautiful. This is also adjustable. You can make it longer or shorter depending on how you want it. That's the thing with Ann Demeulemeester, is how you can add layers of fabrics and layers of strings and layers of accessories. The more you put on, the better. This is the long leather belt from Ann Demeulemeester. Leather belts and accessories can be a godsend. So this is the second item. This is the long belt that I purchased when we were in Antwerp. You know, belts are what I was expecting from the Ludovic show. The lack of dramatic belts on the recent runway was heartbreaking. We need big belts, long belts, wide belts, dramatic belts, belts on belts on belts, anything, any belts that you can imagine. For a brand like Ann Demeulemeester, who relies heavily with monochrome black pieces, things can look repetitive. Hence, her fabric story is amplified mostly by leather accessories. And studying from her past archive collections, there is a truth in that. As soon as I got my hands on this accessory, I've got the finest idea of layering this with almost anything. This is so useful with long dresses as a shaping mechanism. I'm wearing this with my oversized blazer, and it just sits nicely on the waist. And I'll be keeping this forever and ever and ever. And the next one is this Spring 2010 zipper cuff. There's something DIY-ish about this. I mean, if you're very good with crafts, you're gonna be able to replicate this easily. Like, what the hell is this? For the Spring 2010 collection, the motif was caged birds. It's one of her most seductive collections, featuring deliciously dangerous looking accessories. I mean, who would have thought of mixing the tenderness and delicateness of birds against the menacing hardwares and zips? There's something very Mapplethorpe-ish about this. So this bracelet can be a choker. Yeah, this is how it looks like. Very edgy, gothic look. This is how it looks like as a cuff. And that's the logo and the Demeulemeester. It's very simple and very bohemian in a way. In the Ann Demeulemeester universe, her accessories have this long rosary-like qualities. This is another accessory. I bought this for Loren's birthday, and inside it's a beautiful accessory. Yeah, it's extra special because it came with a box. It comprises with a long ribbon, and in it there is a feather and a brass coin of some sort and a set of keys. And here it says Ann Demeulemeester. Again, something that you can find from an antique shop, but it has this Ann Demeulemeester touch to it. I think this is real feather. So if you're traveling, you have to declare this because this is from an animal source. When worn with like oversized blazers or dress, it just gives you that Mapplethorpe-ish vibe. Very bohemian and gothic and poetic all at the same time. Not sure when was this released. The archive of Ann Demeulemeester is so extensive and long, and it's just hard to track it down. So if you know what collection this is from, all you Ann Demeulemeester geeks out there, please comment down below. So I've said earlier that in order to avoid looking flat with your all black outfits, it's always good to accessorize. Yeah, it's very special, it's beautiful. It has this ornate diamantes and these diamantes are intertwined with the banal ribbons and strings. She only started doing jewelries, I think, in 2006. Things like this are very rare to find, so I'm really happy to have this. Put it on against a black outfit. It just adds a bit of sparkle. You know, when you walk in the streets and when you're wearing this type of jewelry, it makes them stop because something catches their eye. You know, that's the type of attention that you get when you wear something from Ann Demeulemeester. And it whispers, it doesn't cry for attention. You don't have to scream, you just need to create a presence. So the next one is the detachable Adele shirt collar. So this is very clever. You can attach it on a t-shirt or a dress. In our case, we've attached this in this mugler blazer. And voila, it transformed the whole look into an Ann Demeulemeester uniform. The Ann Demeulemeester look is usually romantic, a reimagined poet in the modern day. Fittingly enough, the collar may have been inspired by the detachable collar that was popular in the 1800s. So this is a lovely reinterpretation of the brand, a decorative accent to suppress a dark outfit. So, you know, if you put it on a single shirt, it kind of elevates it. And also the ribbon here, it has a special embroidered writing saying what remains is future. So this is my next one. It's brand new. It still has tags on. I bought this from Mercury, Japan. I love buying items that are new with a pre-owned price. I got these under the premise that this is a fantastic minimal belt. Little did I know that this was a bandeau top. It has darts on the breast area. There's something powerful and alluring about this. This is the leather, and it's made of this stretchy elastane fabric. I've tried wearing this as, you know, a bandeau top, but I think this is too big on me. It just falls off. Very awkward. For me, I'd rather just use it as a waist belt. It has proven to be so useful in a closet. Like the other day, I borrowed Laurent's pants, which is so big on me. So it acts as a belt and an obi sash. In spring 2010 runway, the bandeau was used as a minimal top under biker jackets, under oversized blazers. I think they've re-released it. Fast forward to 2022, Ludovic recreated this minimal top with a feather leather top that was worn by Hunter Schafer, which garnered a lot of likes. The fact that this is just a minimal piece of cloth and leather, but when mounted on your chest, it creates a very powerful sensuality. It's a perfect spoiler of skin and flesh, if you may. I'm wearing it as a bandeau. Probably nice to wear it in the summer under a big foamy jacket, but me being super conservative, I'd probably wear this more as a belt or a sash. For spring-summer 2010 menswear, if you remember, there were lots of looks where the leather cummerband was the focal point. Menswear, women's wear, it doesn't matter. This is a very useful piece. We all know that Ann Demeulemeester meticulously crafts each piece of clothing to exude a timeless familiarity, as though it had been a cherished possession throughout your entire existence. She possessed an uncanny ability to anticipate the different ways in which a garment would gracefully weather, hold, fade, adapt, and conform to one's unique body. This is the next piece of item. On the hanger, it looks like a dead fabric. Don't get me wrong. When Laurent first shown this item, I was like, what is that? He tried it on. I was blown away. So this is the sleeves of this dress. It has this long string that you can wrap around your waist or wrap around your neck. If you want to pull it closer to you or let it hang, it's entirely up to you.
So I thought to find a new way of making clothes in the cut of the garment, in the form of the garment. There is a asymmetry that makes that when you put on the clothes, it gives you this duality between a sculptured body on one side and the oversized body, an abstract body on the other side.
No other designer has stressed the importance of the body feeling the clothes as poetic as Ann Demeulemeester. She wants to imbibe nonchalance into her clothes. And to do that, you have to work on balance. For example, this dress will hang differently after you put your arms on the sleeves, after you manipulated the strings. The sensuality of exposing portions of your skin is somehow achieved with this top. The asymmetry creates an illusion that the wearer is stripping down, and we all know that a person stripping down is sexier than a person who is naked, right? The top has trims and cords that you can play around. You can use the string system to make it full or have it super close to your body. Just goes to show that a very simplistic outfit will have a totally different meaning when you style it. Since we are on the topic of versatility, may I just present to you one of the most versatile, one of my most favorite pickups from the lot. This is the mega belted skirt. It has this two-way loophole for the belts made from wool and cotton. It's amazing. I don't know, whenever I see buttons and zippers and loops and belts, I get so excited. These conceptual constructions are not just unnecessary add-ons, but for me, it is a way for the designer to allow the buyer and the wearer to toy with 10 million styling propositions. So this magnificent piece can be worn as a skirt or a wide belt. As a skirt, my reference was Ann Demeulemeester Spring-Summer 2011 menswear with a mix of military jacket and belted pants. I thought of using the belt as a skirt, as this would be appealing with long boots. And also here I've worn with the Ann Demeulemeester military jacket, and oh my god, layering is so beautiful. Like you wouldn't even know that these are separate pieces. As a belt, I've worn this with the flowy pants, and somehow the belt transformed the pants into a high-waist pants. For fall 2010, she sent the male models in high-waist pants, already challenging the fashion codes of menswear. And I just hope that there were pieces like this from the Ludovic collection. This would have been perfect if he was able to explore genderless versatility rather than creating repetitive looks. No collection will ever compare to Sébastien Mounier's Spring-Summer 2018. It's a gentle insinuation of 70s boheme. The base of most looks from that collection were the loungy fluid pants that behaved like trailing skirts. We were so lucky to have found this on eBay for a beautiful price, of course. From a hanger, it's just a simple, you know, black pants that you can find from a thrift store. But lo and behold, once worn, once styled with an Ann Demeulemeester uniform, this is fantastic. This is just mind-blowing. Worn with platform boots or even chunky masculine boots, this one was a godsend because I tend to forget that Ann Demeulemeester is also about relaxed and oversized silhouettes. So we really needed something that has this sort of silhouette. These amazing pants are very transformative. It will make your outfit in tune with the Ann Demeulemeester universe. If you can see, Lauren has worn this so much that it has torn to shreds. So the next one would be this Corpse Humane tee. These are from Lauren's closet, by the way, but time and time again I get to borrow this. There are times that you just want to wear something simple, like a simple t-shirt. This would be it. Still interesting though, like look at how asymmetrical the necklines are. The cut was intentional, and Corpse Humane is French for human body. It was first seen in 1998, in the spring-summer 1998, and Ann Demeulemeester was inspired and infatuated by the poem of Allen Ginsberg entitled Footnote to Howl. These have been re-released every year because this is a collector's item and it is also a bestseller. This is a logo shirt. It doesn't scream, but the message is there, and the message is very soulful. I love that Ann Demeulemeester puts emphasis on the soul, the wearer, and the clothes, and how it interacts together. And I think it's a very sweet gesture coming from a designer. It just creates a great base. I love that we have this. There are so many looks that you can think about when you wear this. The next one is this tank top. This is the A tank top. This is from Sébastien Mounier's era, from the spring-summer 2018. And this cotton tank top features a Victorian foliage initials, very poetic. I think this was a clever answer from Sébastien Mounier because 2018, that was a time when Off-White, Balenciaga, and other bunch of brands were doing logo mania. Ann Demeulemeester is not a brand who'll participate in that trend, but Sébastien was also trying to tap the market, and by doing so, he was able to create a very, very soulful approach. This is perfect for spring, summer, fall, winter. Layered or worn by itself, it doesn't matter. If you love Ann Demeulemeester, you'll feel as if you'll need like 5 blazers or more. With Ann Demeulemeester, no 2 jackets are the same. There's always going to be slight nuance, slight iterations that you'll pick up. This is the next item. I bought this actually for Loren, and I got this from Mercury Japan. At first, it looked like a crop blazer. So this is how it looks like on the website. Made from stretchy wool. It's very light. It has that typical Ann Demeulemeester shoulder detail. So I borrowed it for this video and I was styling it. And upon styling it, I discovered that this can double up as a military jacket, and military jacket has been one of the early motifs of Ann Demeulemeester. So this is the jacket when worn as a military jacket. This is how it looks like. So for the styling, I'm wearing the multi-layered skirt and the military jacket. It's just a clean, simplistic look. And I just love how the shoulder, the buttons, and the neckline were placed strategically. Makes it utilitarian. And when I excitedly told Loren that this one can be a military jacket, he was like, oh, you can have it, it's yours. So never underestimate an Ann Demeulemeester piece. My advice is to play with it, to be intrigued, to be curious, to ask questions. And look what it got me, a nice military jacket. For the last pieces that I'll be showing you, these are going to be the 2 most important pieces that I've acquired. Me and Loren recently did a get ready with me wearing the Ann Demeulemeester pieces. I mean, it's very cringe, but fashion is cringe in some ways, so why not? So the first one would be this one. This is actually my gift to Loren. This is from the Spring Summer 2022 collection. It features a simplistic rib tank top and an exaggerated ribbon with the Ann Demeulemeester branding. After the departure of Sébastien Mounier, the Spring 2022 collection was a reset. In saying so, they borrowed this archival look from the Spring Summer 1998. Like I've mentioned before, that was one of the most noteworthy collections by Ann Demeulemeester herself. Ann Demeulemeester has a fascination for tank tops. It was once mentioned from an interview that she sees tank tops as somewhat naive and very innocent and fragile. Like if you see a young child wearing a white tank top, there's something innocent and delicate about it. So she wanted to recreate that innocence. This is the Emma dress, the Spring Summer 2022 collection. I remember when we went to in the flagship store of Ann Demeulemeester, it was hanging on the wall. This was just a magnificent piece. I think this is the most long dress that I own. I haven't even worn this out yet, in fear that it's gonna be savagely damaged from the dirt and whatnot. The main thing with this one is it's a tank top, but the back is very nuanced, very sensual, how it exposes your back. There's something sweet and sexy about it that doesn't step towards vulgarity, and I just love the back. Like the sensuality is very reminiscent to the kimono. Like it only ever exposes the back of the geisha, but it gives off that very, very alluring appeal. Sensuality doesn't have to be vulgar. It can be subtle and it can be tender and delicate. That's what this dress is all about. Here I'm wearing it with the crossbody, very reminiscent to the Spring 2022 runway. Also, I'm wearing it with the asymmetric vest, and I love how it creates that layered look. It's perfect for anyone who loves the balance of showing skin and also not showing the skin. And if you also love the drama, the length, this is perfect for you. All in all, this is amazing. This is an iconic Ann Demeulemeester piece. I know Ann Demeulemeester is somewhere far from the circus and chaos of fashion, but as fans, we can still continue to celebrate and support the brand, in our own little ways. I'm sure she'll be so happy to know that there are still people like us, people like you, who are driven to wear her clothes. And I think that is enough on its own. So I hope you enjoyed the pickup video. If you've stayed with me and you've reached this point, I'm really thankful. I appreciate your time, and I will be seeing you on my next video. Thank you again for watching. Bye.